drive to highlighted route.
Your call has been forwarded to an auto. Yo.
I'm sorry, I accidentally called the wrong Vanessa. I called some Vanessa that, like, blocked me on social media a while ago, but she unblocked me.
Turn right on Boylston Street.
But anyways,
Okay, what's he saying to you?
yeah, I'll send all the screenshots later, but basically, the first,
Turn right
like,
at
what
the stop
happened
sign.
was, and, like, I told Tanya and Ryan and Anthony about it, but, and Nikki, and they all said that Christian is completely re, and obviously Michael is completely re, but basically what it was is, and we were all surprised at first because it seemed very calm for a start, you know what I mean? He literally only sent 1 to 3 messages, something like that. I think it was a message, screenshot, then message, but that was it. And then I ended up answering, because it angered me because it, like, basically what he said was, I forget exactly, like, I'm gonna paraphrase it, but basically he sent a screenshot of Christian saying to him on Facebook Messenger, like, why is this person not moving? Saying, how, like, Christian was saying to him how we all are people who just talk crap behind people's backs, and how their mommies and daddies bought their cars, blah, 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 blah. And so I ended up responding to that because, like, I had a feeling Michael's going to immediately pass it on to Christian. So basically what I said was, we don't talk crap behind people's backs. We only, like, the only people we've talked bad about or whatever is, like, the truth of people we don't associate with anymore, you know what I mean? And then also I mentioned how Nikki, Gabe, and Ryan bought their car fully, like, themselves, and Anthony. And I said how I bought most of my car. But, like, for me, I bought, like, it was, like, 70% of the car I paid, or 60%, something like that. But still, like, Christian is just being ridiculous, and, like, Christian is triggered because, obviously, how me, Ryan, and Nikki called him out for lying about having 3 cars or whatever, blah, blah.
Okay, so that justifies, like, him harassing us?
I know.
Harassing you guys? Bothering you guys?
Isn't that ridiculous? So I have a feeling what it is that Michael's probably sucking up to Christian fully. Also because I bet it's a thing where, yeah, like, Christian is loving that sucking up he's doing. And on top of it, Christian is delusional and retarded because he probably thinks we're all invalid and that Michael is valid because of how the Tanya situation I told you about, the Tanya Christian situation, and this whole car situation, and how we would use Roz to find out. We would talk about Christian about those completely valid stuff, you know what I mean? So I think it's a thing where I have a strong feeling, from the way I was looking at some of the previews and stuff like that, of the messages, but I can just tell by the tone and everything, it seems as if it seems as if either Michael has seen the messages that like I or whoever has been sending to Christian, or that Christian is voluntarily telling Christian all about that, which I think it's more so the second thing, because it seems as if, because like Michael was saying like, like I saw in the previews, I didn't read the whole thing, but I'll send you all the screenshots later. At the end of the day, what I'll do is I'll open it and then I'll block him. But what I saw in the previews was him saying like, wait, what the hell did he say? Crap, I'm blanking out. Let me think. He's like, or first he was starting with like calling me, Ryan, Chris, and others complete retards, blah blah, just basically repeating all the other stuff he said before. Skinkosaurus.
Are you on speakerphone? Because like you're breaking up, so like I can't really hear all of what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm on speaker, but I'm alone in my car with the windows like closed. But does it sound fine? Like, is it working? Hello?
I hear the wind blowing. I don't
wait,
hear
now,
you.
do you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. I put my phone up to me. I had just had it down. Yeah, first he started with stuff, like after the Christian thing, or after I answered, it ended up being like that many messages that I sent, you know what I mean, that screenshot. But I didn't open that yet, but I saw some of the previews. But basically he started with like calling us all Rees and like being repetitive of how you're a slut, this, that, blah, 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 blah. And then he was later saying like, crap, I'm kind of blanking out. Let me look at the preview real quick. Okay. Or I'll just open it. Just remind me to send you all the screenshots later. He's so weird. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Here was this is so cringe. Oh my god. I'm reading this last part. It's like, I truly and sincerely have a present for you. Don't be ungrateful. I have 3 100 milligram Viagra, and just like you, I couldn't get hard with Vanessa either. Well, for me, it was because it was an awkward situation and I'm Marie, you know what I mean? And I mentioned that before, like when he was going on the first rant when we were talking several days ago, that like how I'm not interested in you in a relationship or hookup or whatever. We only did it once, and we're just friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like he's like, I couldn't get hard with Vanessa either, so I took 2 out of 5 and still have 3. Let me know when you're gonna stop by and I'll leave them in the mailbox, because all the men that know Vanessa and Vanessa, he's crazy for repeating himself, Vanessa and her whole family are all terrified of me, and I'm mean, as if I'm mean. What the hell? So I haven't...
You're literally harassing everyone. You're literally harassing all my friends. You're talking shit about me on social media. So, we're not I mean, yes, we're like scared of you because first of all, you're coming off as a psycho. But second off, it's like we have every right to like
I know.
be wary of you because you're a fucking psycho. And you are being a mean person because you're cyber bullying and you're harassing, and that is bullying, and you're being
It's so cringe. It's so cringe. But the way you see how he said like everyone's terrified of me, blah blah blah. I have a strong feeling, because I said to the Christian the other day like he's like insane or whatever. So that's why me, Chris, and Ryan blocked him or whatever. But I have a strong feeling that Christian probably said that in other stuff to Michael. You know what I mean?
Why is Christian such a fucking Marie?
Completely
that
retarded.
I don't want to be friends with him anymore.
Yeah, same.
So
that's the same with me, Ryan, Nikki, obviously. Well, Nikki, like, stopped wanting to associate with him after he was just lying so much or whatever. But yeah, like, after this situation, I just, like, I don't trust Christian at all, and I have no interest in hanging out with him. Either way, I only saw him once. We only saw him once in the quarantine, and that's it. And the past few years, he barely has been hanging out with us because of the Tanya Christian situation. Even though it's 100% true, the Tanya situation, because other people literally saw it. So I think it's a thing where, since they're both sociopaths and stuff like that, that's why they're connecting, and how he's like sucking up to Christian and this and that. But all I know is that let's hope that Christian gets him the hell out of his house. I wonder if he's still gonna try to pursue that, or if maybe Christian is getting to a point where he's sympathizing enough with him of wanting to keep him. Let's hope that's not the case.
Sympathizing for what? We all go through breakups. What's there to sympathize for?
He's completely retarded.
Also, like, the dude always gave me shit for like how I spent my money and stuff like that. Like, he was always like, oh, like, he was so clingy to the point where, like, because he thought that he would, if he moved closer to me, I would spend like all my time with him. You know what I mean? But like, when I would want to, like, you know, I mean, I work a 9-to-5 job, so like when I'm at work, you know, I'm working, and then once I'm out of work, like, I'm either like tired to the point where I just want to like go home and rest, or like I have like other things to do, like I want to, you know, maybe like get my nails done or something.
Or anything.
But like he always gave me shit about that, and I'm just like, you know, first of all, it is like,
he's a mega Kyle.
That I'm fucking spoiled and that like mommy and daddy gave me everything. I'm like, if I was that spoiled, I wouldn't be working a job.
I know.
Second of all, it's like, really, like, this is my own hard-earned money, and if you, like, the more you insult me about this and calling me spoiled and privileged and blah, 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 then it's like,
he's
really,
spoiled.
like, why are you with me?
He's spoiled to not have to work, and, you know what I mean? That's spoiled.
And it's like, honestly, he's fucking lucky that it's like, I haven't, he claims that he's not me, but it's like, if I showed these texts to, like, my dad, who's a police officer, or any other law enforcement, I can guarantee you they would be like, no, this is like harassment, stuff like that, like
minimum.
And it's like, so he's fucking lucky that
we're really nice.
I think he knows he can't threaten me because he knows that my dad's a cop. So, and like, even my mom said, like, because I asked my mom, I'm like, what should we do? Like, you know, obviously, like, if he tries to show up at the house, like, and my mom's like, well, I'll just, like, she's like, well, your dad has several guns. But I was like, well, what if dad isn't home? My mom's like, oh, well, I'll either call him or I'll call the cops.
Yeah.
But like, still, it's like, dude, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, you're a homeless, he's pretty much a homeless vet. You know what I mean?
Useless.
Like, he's a homeless vet who's a drug addict, and still is a drug addict. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and it's insane.
I bought all that shit about him being a recovery. My mom, like, told me that. She's like, you know, if he was really serious about, like, recovery and stuff like that, he would be going to get help all the time. You know what I mean? Like, he'd always be, like, going to, you know, talk to people and stuff like that and getting help.
Yeah.
But the fact is that just because you're in recovery for a little bit and then you get out and go to a sober home, that doesn't mean you're, like, completely sober. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, my mom didn't buy that either. She's like, yeah, I think he's full of shit with that. Like,
and he probably is undiagnosed bipolar and needs to be on medication.
He told me at one point, he was like, oh, like, people think I'm bipolar, but like, I'm not. I'm really not. It's like, bro, like, I think people think you're bipolar, then there's a chance you probably are.
Yeah, he's extremely manic. Nobody sends that amount of messages unless you have borderline personality or autism, or you're extremely manic with bipolar, which it's definitely bipolar.
Like, I'm just like, what the, like, so really he was just texting you saying, pretty much just sending you the shit that Christian was saying, and I was just going in on me again as normal?
Yeah, it was like all that, but the thing is like, I think there's indicators that Christian is sympathizing. So I think that the best thing is like I was talking to some girl that I'm friends with or whatever. That's a whole long other story or whatever. But I've updated her about everything that's happened the past number of months in my life or whatever. And she was saying, and also other people have said around me, like Anthony and others, that with the whole Shane situation, it was good that I didn't only block him and fully cut him off, but also every single person who associates with him.
I was honestly considering blocking Christian.
Yeah, so like with that, I think so. Christian never really messages like any of us anymore, except he did the other day to have ice cream, which was strange and suspicious. But I think it's a thing where, yeah, I think all of us should just not be. I don't know. I'm on the edge of whether or not of answering if he like straight up is trying to ask or talk about anything Christian. But for hanging out, 100%, none of us should hang out with him. But I'm not gonna even bother messaging him though either. I think we just need to completely cut like off, and I think that's the way. I think that's the best way for him to like fade away, kind of like Shane did. You know what I mean? Like over time, Shane stopped using other people to harass me and stuff like that.
Yeah, so honestly, do you think it was because, like, I know Christian, the last time Christian hit me up was, like, what, Sunday?
Yeah.
Sunday he hit me up. But he was saying, like, oh, I just want to see how you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And I go, okay, this was the conversation. He's like, hey. I'm like, hey. And he's like, just want to see how you're doing. And I'm like, I'm doing good, how are you? And he goes, I'm doing well. And then he was like, yeah, he's like, I'm calming Michael down, like, I'm like leveling with him, and stuff like that, and he's like, I think he's just very bad, he's just angry about this whole situation, and I'm like, it's a fucking breakup, he's been through other breakups, like, but then again, did you see that girl's comment on Facebook about, like, how, like, this is the third girl that you're blasting on social media, and stuff like that, like, that's psycho, you know what I mean, like, but he was like, oh, like, he's just angry about this whole situation, and he's just being frustrated, and I'm just like, and then I replied, I said, you know what, I gave him his stuff back, he should just move on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, Christian didn't even respond after that, he kind of like, this was on Snapchat, so I saw that he read it, but he didn't respond after, so I'm like,
what was the last thing you said? Sorry? What was the last thing?
What were you gonna say?
Wait, what was the last thing you said to him that made him not respond?
I just said, I gave him his stuff back, he should move on.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. The guy was literally harassing me.
About that stuff.
Threatening to come to my house if I didn't give him back his fucking AirPods and hat.
Yeah.
Like, really?
I think he's trying as much as he can to try to trigger some way to be able to reconnect with you. Also, another thing I just thought of, that I think the reason why Christian is trying to be nice to you and everything like that is, one, out of, trying to... he's probably trying to get information like for Michael or whatever, because he's triggered at like all of us for not believing all of his lies, you know what I mean? And then another thing, here's the other important thing you need to remember too.
People thinking he's lying about having 3 cars, like, who fucking cares, bro?
I know.
Like, you let people think what they want.
I know, that too. Like, who cares?
If you have a problem with that, go hang out with them. Go hang out with them. Which is what he's been doing, it sounds like, you know? But, like,
he's so rude.
Okay, so, like, so you're still holding a grudge because, you know, people think you're lying about having 3 cars. And then now you have your friends, your quote-unquote friends, you know, ex-boyfriend, living with you and is literally harassing her
and
friends.
It's dangerous.
Her and your friends, it's like it's his friends too. Like, he's literally harassing us. He's going on Facebook, making posts about us, like literally saying our names and saying where we live, and it's like calling us out for stupid shit.
So
and it's like, really, like, how does that?
I wonder if his
Christian
Facebook got banned yet.
I told Christian, I was like, if he was mature and being a gentleman about this whole thing, like, okay, maybe I would meet up with him and like give him a closure. But like, the fact is that he's blasting me on social media and
he's
insane.
Me,
like, we never want to see him ever again.
Yeah.
And Christian goes, yeah, I agree. Like, it was that wasn't the way for him to, that wasn't the proper way to handle the situation. I go, bro, like, yeah, no, it was not proper at all.
Obviously,
Like,
yeah.
it's fucking insane.
Here's another thing too about him is sorry, I looked at some stupid Facebook dating message. But
In 1/2
another thing,
mile,
I
keep
think
right
that's
on
one
Worcester
reason
Road,
is
then
he's like
take
trying
the
to get
first
information
right.
and is sympathizing, blah blah blah. And then the other reason I think he's nice to you and nice to a lot of girls that are friends with me and stuff like that is because Christian is trying to get at them. So since you're single and stuff, you know what I mean? So he's completely so that's why he's being so nice.
Really, like, I mean, I don't think so, because he'd be fucking scared of, I mean, the dude, like, Christian's mom is freaking scared of Michael. Like,
Yeah.
come on, like, that poor woman, like, which I feel incredibly bad about. That poor woman is, like,
Her or
so so uncomfortable with him.
anyone around him.
She has to go to his aunt's house all the time because she can't handle being around him. And I feel so bad about that because like Christian's mom was just being nice, and like I just feel bad about how he makes her uncomfortable and stuff like that. Like I just like that I feel bad about. You know what I mean? But like Christian being a fake and a like I don't feel bad about that at all.
I agree.
And then he was talking to me, and he was like, oh, like, kind of like being condescending, you know what I mean? Like treating me like a child.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, like, I hope you learned your lesson from this. And I go, like, I'm already, you know what? Yes, I have learned my lesson from it, but it's like, really, like, I don't need you to talk down to me. Like, we all make mistakes. We all hang out with the wrong people.
I think,
you know, because they put on a good show. Yeah,
I think for the way he said it, it's probably illegitimate, meaning I think he honestly doesn't really, like, believe that, you know what I mean, of, thinking that it was that big of a mistake. I think he's just trying to be rude and stuff like that, like, underlying rude to you, because I felt if he meant that, then he wouldn't be sympathizing and being fine with Michael, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the end result is I just can't, me and anyone can't feed into the Michael situation at all, meaning no messaging Christian, and then I only replied that one time to Michael, but I'm going to block his number, so then I don't feed into the situation at all anymore, you know what I mean? So,
turn left on Auburn Street, then take the first right.
No, because remember when there was a time of Hopedale, like when you were in Hopedale and I was about to give,
yeah, you still had your number saved.
Yeah,
yeah.
So he's crazy. But I'm just hoping that, the situation will de-escalate, but we'll see, hopefully.
Well, first of all, Christian has to get him
Turn
out.
right on
I think that, knock on wood, would de-escalate the situation like an extreme amount, you know what I mean? But let's hope Christian follows through with that. I think it's like a thing, I think Christian is the same exact as Cam in the Shane situation. Like, it's 100% obvious that they're clearly mentally ill with all the proof, you know what I mean? And like, since they somehow don't understand that, Cam and Christian, it makes me not want to remotely associate with them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, it's like, so like, what should I do? Like, cause like, should I keep Christian as a friend on social media, or should I
turn right on Edgebrook Road?
I think for now, keep him on all of it, because I feel, what would happen if you or any of us like unfriend or block Christian, I think Christian would start to see us as the enemy and try to help Michael get back at us, you know what I mean? So that's the complicated part.
Turn right on Brook Street.
Like,
I
what
know.
is up with this? Like, so many psychos. Like,
I know.
Why?
It's because there's so many crazy people in the world. I hate it. I need a manager.
I mean, you've had you've had some
I've
crazy
had a lot of
exes.
crazy,
This is like
yeah.
my only crazy ex. Still,
Yeah.
like, it's
Turn
crazy.
right on
Like,
Brook
feeling
Street.
like
Insane.
that.
Like, this is a whole other level of crazy.
Like, it's funny too because, like, one of his friends reached out to me and said, like,
In 1/4
hey, like, I'm
mile,
sorry, like, I
turn
just
right
wanna,
on
like, give you
Jean
a heads
Street.
up that, like, I don't agree with all that he's doing, and I think what he's doing is completely messed up, and, like, I just wanted to make sure you're okay, and blah, 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 and, like, you know, like, and then, like, pretty much, and then
Turn
Michael
right
somehow
on
found, like,
Jean
I
Street.
guess Michael was assuming, because, like, I knew this guy, like, when we were going out, like, I hung out with this guy a few times, and he's a nice guy, he's a decent guy, and, like,
At
Michael,
the end of the street,
like, would,
turn
you know,
right.
Michael would ask me, like, oh, do you think he's attractive, blah, 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 and I'm just like, like, no, I'm like, first of all, why does it matter, you know what
Yeah.
I mean, like, are you looking for a reason to get mad, are you looking for a reason to get in a fight, like,
Yep.
really, and then, like, I think because, like, I'm friends with the guy on Facebook, so, like, Michael, I guess, like, he's probably, the dude assumes that I'm sleeping with everybody.
Yep.
Like,
He's
he
delusional.
probably even thinks I'm sleeping with your dad or something. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like, he's crazy.
Literally
So
everyone.
he texted him, no, he did
Turn
text
right
him, he,
on
like,
Lee Street.
tagged him in a comment on Facebook, and was like, hey, like, you know, the guy's name is Ryan, so he like, Michael's like, hey, Ryan, like, you know, if you want to go for Vanessa, go for it. You know, you're her type. She likes really tall, like small, muscular guys. You know, but you know, don't worry. She doesn't know how to have a conversation. So all you have to do is
Arriving at
say,
57
"Open
Lee
sesame,"
Street
or
on the
whatever,
left.
and like, you know, just like, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
The funny
Like,
thing
it
too
makes it
is
sound like-
Mills
it
is
makes it sound like-
somehow more intelligent more than him. You know what I mean? That's how retarded this guy is.
He's like,